Our thumb is going to take care of the A string. And then the same thing as before, our index on the G, our middle on the B, our ring on the high E. And again, notice that very little movement of the hand, almost all from the fingers. Hopefully you can see and hear that. You can do it a little louder, a little faster. You can have a free floating hand like this, more of a classical position. You can lean a little bit more on the bridge, which would be more like how a folk player maybe would play. Gives you a little bit of stability. You can mute the bass note. You can actually have the palm of your hand touching the A string to get a little bit of a Chet Atkins, Merle Travis kind of mute sound like that. It's Tommy Emmanuel. More of a thumping bass sound. There's a million different ways to do it, but the standard way is to have your hand floating and free and not touching the face of the guitar. The only thing touching the guitar are my fingertips. But with a minimum of motion. Moving your hand a lot, not moving your arm a lot. It's all about the joints. Your knuckles. All right, so yeah, practice it at a variety of tempos and a variety of dynamics. Soft, medium, loud. Always trying to be even though, not having too much of this and not having too much of that. Try to get them to sound a little more even, smooth. And then later you can play with adjusting the volumes of individual notes and bringing them out. So straight down is really fun. There's every other, this one. This is an introduction, this every other pattern I call it, into alternate bass. It's getting your thumb to go from playing a bass note on one string, in this case the A string, to another string, which would be the D string. So your thumb plucks the A, your middle plucks the B, your index plucks the G. I'm thinking of a different pattern. And then your thumb plucks the D, and your middle plucks the B, as I said earlier by mistake. So it's thumb, index, thumb, middle, A string, G string, D string, B string. Put that together and you get this. What's cool about that pattern is it's fairly easy to get going. It kind of rolls along, it's smooth. And it doesn't use the extreme low notes on your guitar or the extreme high notes. It's kind of a mid-range sound. Very good to accompany singing. Provides a nice background for a vocal. It stays out of the way of the vocal. Or if you're playing with other musicians, especially other guitar players that are playing high notes or lead guitar or something, that's a nice pattern to just kind of tastefully accompany them rather than overpower them. So that's called the every other pattern. That can be played on other chords. Let's explore perhaps a G chord and look at the every other pattern on a G chord. I'll give you a real folky sound. You probably recognize that when I do it on a G chord. Probably sounds like a million different like folk and folk rock 70s songs. It's super common in that kind of music. So here's what I'm doing here. I pluck my low E string on a G chord. By the way, G I'm doing is 3-2-0-0-0-3. And right hand wise, thumb on the low E, index on the G, thumb on the D, and middle on the B to give you this. So it's a very nice pattern too. So you have the straight down pattern. You have every other. In future videos, we'll do a part 2, a part 3. We'll go as far as you want to go on this. Leave comments in the comment section down below and let me know what kind of fingerstyle concepts you want to go over. Maybe you want to talk about Travis picking. Maybe you want to talk about blues. We'll see. We'll see what you say. Maybe you want some James Taylor, some Paul Simon, some Joni Mitchell. You name it. You just leave a comment down below, and I'll use that to influence my decision on the part 2 and the part 3 of this video. But I today just wanted to show you the super basics. So that thing that I was playing at the beginning, that wasn't any of these particular patterns that we were talking about, but it was 2 chords that I just discovered as I was testing my mics before I turned on this record for this video. I came across by accident this chord progression. I'll show it to you just for the heck of it to wind up this video with, in case you're interested. It's an E sort of chord, an E major 7, and I picked it like this. I did sort of a modified every other pattern, I guess is what I did spontaneously. And that chord is 0x9890, E major 7. And then the other chord I did is an A6 chord. Super nice chord. That can also be like a D major 9 over A, but let's call it for our purposes today an A6. That'd be a simpler name, much shorter, easier to say. That was X07670. A6. So put those together and you get like I said, I have no idea where that came from. It just came out when I was testing the mics, and I said, that'll make a nice intro to this video. So there it is as a bonus for you in case you were curious what that was I was playing. It wasn't a song, at least not yet. It's not a song yet. Maybe that'll turn into a song later. All right, Guitar-Aliens, I hope you enjoyed that. Look out for part 2 coming pretty soon, and we'll get way further into fingerstyle guitar. Be sure to like this video. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to click the notify bell. Look for tabs on my Patreon. I always link to my Patreon down below, and you click on that, and oftentimes there's lots of free tabs for you in case you didn't catch all of this. Sometimes they're paid tabs, but we'll see. We'll see what we put up on Patreon this time around. All right, Guitar-Aliens, you take care. Bye-bye.